So, I'm going to go over kind of like my biggest takeaways from Summit, some of the things that are relatable to what we're going to talk about tonight, but stuff that I felt was really key. And just some things that, none of it was like earth shattering stuff. A lot of this is stuff, and you guys will find, when you go to Summit, you're not going to get like earth shattering new information, new tips, new tricks, like the magic secret sauce. You're not going to get that. But what you're going to get is information from other coaches, and all of it is kind of the same, but it's nice to be able to hear it from other people, to hear their stories and how they run their teams and how they, how they do all that stuff. So when I went to Summit last year, I had like major, huge breakthroughs, like personally. And this year I feel like I had a lot of business breakthroughs. And regardless, it's worth the trip, even if you go and you're like, wow, this is all information I've heard before. It's still so worth it to be able to be there, to be in the energy of all of it, and to just experience it, because it's just such a cool, amazing experience. I mean, it's just worth it. It's craziness and you'll be exhausted, but it's totally worth it. So, tonight, delivering your message, like I was saying, I didn't think I had it on record, but The Millionaire Messengers by Brendan Burchard is the book that I'm reading right now. And it's really good. It talks basically about how he delivers his message. He's become one of the biggest like personal development gurus in the industry. And he had a near-death experience when he was in his early 20s, and that kind of changed and shaped the whole rest of his life, because he realized that we have one life, and the things that you learn in school are not necessarily important. And the things that, the message that you can learn from other people to, find things to implement in your own life and in your business, that those are the things that really are what is needed in our culture, because we have this, not that school's not good, but we have this glorified, like, culture that everybody has to go to college to be successful. And it's not true. You'll see so much of that within Beachbody and other network marketing companies. A lot of people don't go to college, and they're making way more money and don't have the debt that people do from school. So I'm a college dropout. I didn't finish 4 years of college. I did 2 years, and then I went to beauty school. So I guess I'm not totally a dropout. I did graduate and I did get my license, but obviously, and that's a career that I love, but this is something that fulfills me in a completely different way that I never thought I would ever be doing. But it's interesting how things just, kind of fall into our lap that way. I feel like the things that we need in our lives present themselves at the time when we most need them. So I really feel like that this business is just obviously the best business ever, to be able to help people in a way that is so life-changing. And I think that that's one of the things that we forget about often, is that this business, our products, the community we offer, the support we offer, those things are life-changing. I mean, just for me, obviously my life was changed by the products, but the community of people that I have been connected to since I have been a coach completely has changed my life in ways that I can't quit this business just because of that. Because thinking about not having those people in my life, and not that the people that I've met that I would never, be friends with again, but there are people that the connection that we have, and that's what you guys will notice as you develop relationships with other coaches and you find your kind of your niche of like your people, your success partners, the people that help hold you accountable to your business goals. Those people, the connection is completely different than the connection I have with my best friends that I've had my whole life. Because I think so much of what we preach and what we talk about is personal growth, and that's not really something that a lot of the other people really think about or do or talk about or care about. Because I remember when I very first started thinking that personal development was like the biggest joke ever, and laughing and thinking like, I don't need to do that. And it has changed my life in so many ways, just to realize like it's helped me really get through the tough times when I'm stuck in the mud in this business where I'm frustrated. It's helped me with my relationships. It's really helped me personally to self-evaluate and look at the things that I'm doing that I could do better, or the things I'm doing that I need to stop, so that I can move forward in my business, but also just I can grow as a person. I can be a better mom and a better friend and a better daughter and a better wife. And so that is really cool to be able to, that's part of our job, is to grow ourselves to be better. And that's one thing that every single speaker talked about. Every single person said, you know, it is a vital behavior because it is vital to your business to do personal development. And I'm promising you right now, the 15 minutes a day that they recommend is not enough. You need to be doing, like, I'm trying to do like an hour plus a day right now, because I feel like I want to grow faster and I want to be able to succeed faster. So if you want to kind of just cruise and like, you know, mosey along, then 15 minutes is adequate. But I really, really feel like if you want to grow, that needs to be your number one priority. So I've been doing it as soon as I wake up in the morning, before I even open my computer, because I know that once I get into Facebook, the rest is history. So for me, it's been really good to do it in the morning, because Emmy, who knows when she naps, if she does nap like she did today, but I also napped today too, so I needed it. So I've been trying to do it in the morning. That way I have no excuses, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, it's not what I want to do. So that's the one thing that I would suggest, is when you're figuring out your power hour, or whenever you're going to have your time, I mean, it really helps to do your personal development at the beginning of the day to kind of set the tone for your day, to get you in the right frame of mind. And I really have found that when I do get it done in the morning, and I get a significant chunk done in the morning, that I mentally just feel much better throughout the day. So I would highly recommend that if you can do your personal development in the morning. If you drive to work or you're in the car or something in the morning, you can put something on, like a podcast or something, or, you know, while you're cooking your kids breakfast or something, if you don't have time to sit down and read, or if reading's not your thing. But I'm finding that just in this last week, it's been really helpful to get it done in the morning. And also remember too, that you don't need to pick like books and stuff that is like directly business related. You want to pick stuff that is what you personally need. So if you're struggling with confidence, if you're struggling with, like for me, I was kind of like, how do I get my message out? How do I really like hone in on my story? And, so this one came highly rated on Amazon, I think. And then I also just finished this one, which is also Brendon Burchard, the Motivation Manifesto. This one was a little harder for me to get through. This one's been better. And then I have this beast that's been sitting here staring at me, and look how giant it is. Ah! But I've heard it's amazing. Awaken the Giant Within, by Tony Robbins. So this one is going to be next, because it's going to take me a little while to get through. But I've heard it's really good. So this is one thing that I keep hearing a lot of, and Brendon Burchard talks a lot about Tony Robbins. And I've heard a lot of people just say Tony Robbins he was kind of like the original guru. So he is kind of who I'm going to dive into next, and really kind of focus on several of his books, because I feel like that's just where I'm supposed to be. So, okay. So personal development, obviously needs to be important. It's vital. And Tracy Morrow, we got to see her speak, her and Summer Tucker, and their topic was from like a hobby coach to a career coach. And this was probably my favorite workshop that we went to. Tracy Morrow, she's a founding coach, for those of you guys who don't know who she is. She is like a bazillionaire. She's super nice. Her and Summer Tucker, the whole time I was tearing up the whole time. Their message was just really powerful. It wasn't just about, you know, turning discount coaches into career coaches. This was like really, it dug into like a lot of things that I feel like were really just, I don't know, I needed to hear that day apparently. But Tracy was saying, you need to have a mindset shift before you can have an attitude change. And once you have those things, then that translates into behavior change. And I really, really, really feel, I know that when you are in a funk and you're in a weird place mentally, that your business reflects that. I have seen that firsthand in my business. I notice that when I'm in a funk, everybody kind of seems to be in a funk. So I've really noticed that when I'm up, everybody's up. When I'm down, everybody's down. So you have to think about that with your team, with your challengers, with your challenge groups, with your Facebook in general, that when, that's why we talk about you don't want to post like negative Nancy kind of stuff on your Facebook, because people are not drawn to that. People don't. That's why, like, when I'm in a funk, then everybody's kind of like just MIA, because nobody wants to be around that. So that's where personal development is super important, because I feel like it really helps to put you in the right mindset every single day. But I know that every single time I'm in a weird place like that, and I'll call Lindsay and I'll have my little meltdown on the phone with her, why this isn't working and this isn't working, and oh my gosh, I suck and I'm never going to be able to do this, and all the drama. It's always comes back to, well, what personal development are you doing right now? And most likely it's like, oh, I haven't really picked up a book in a couple weeks. So I'm going to drill it. Like, personal development is so important. But Tracy talks about you have to have the mindset shift so that you can have the attitude change, so you can get into the right place for your business. And you need to have your things that are your no matter what's every single day. And then you're going to find, and then your action is going to be identifying the 5 things, which are your 5 business tasks. So like for your power hour, the things that you're going to do every single day. And so she really went into the very first thing that she does is her personal development, her shake, and her workout. That's kind of like her number 1 things that she does in the morning before she does anything else. Then she does follow-ups, and then she creates a plan. She starts planning for her posts, planning for the next day. And she said, you can't go places that your growth won't keep you. So that's why it's really important to constantly be growing. And your team is going to grow sometimes faster than you. And so that's why it's really important as a leader to constantly be working on yourself all the time. I can't sit here and drill into you guys about doing personal development and doing your workouts and doing posting on Facebook if I'm not doing it. Today, I sucked at posting on Facebook. The only reason there have been posts on my like page is because I scheduled them. That's the only reason. So today, I just didn't plan well. I had a busy day. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and then I was really not feeling good this afternoon. So I didn't plan well. So, but I did do my personal development. So go me. Obviously, I didn't plan well because we don't have slides tonight. So, some other takeaways that I had was Summer said, if you care about people more than your product, you will be unusually successful. And I thought that was really poignant because it's so true. This is a people business, and people are important. So if we don't care about our people, then we're not going to be successful. So one of the things that I really felt like I need to do is I need to ask more questions. I need to talk to my challengers more. I need to really kind of dig in a little bit more. Also with my coaches, also with you guys, I need to really be more aware about really digging in and asking questions about people's internal motivation and why they want to do this. But people really, they only care about 3 things. So when you're delivering your message to people through Facebook, they care about, is it simple? Does it work? And can they do it? And those are the things that it's really important to you to kind of convey in your message when you're posting on Facebook, that our system is simple. Drink a shake once a day, do your workout less than an hour every day or 5 days a week, 6 days a week, follow your meal plan, and check into the group. It's very simple. We don't have to do all these extra fancy things that a lot of these other companies do. We eat real food. We don't have packaged crap. So And obviously, can they do it? Yes, they can do it, because we have thousands of stories of people who have done it, and all of us are proof that it can be done. So you gotta show up for people. You gotta care about them and care about them being successful with our system. But we also need to keep it simple for them and not complicate it. And show up on days when we don't feel like it. That was another big thing that Summer said. Are you willing to show up when you don't feel like it? And that, I think, hit a lot of people like kind of square in the face, because if you show up when you feel like it, you are not a business building coach. Period. That's just the truth. If you only show up once a week to check in for your challenge groups, if you're only showing up once a week to check into the team page, if you're not showing up for team calls, if you're not making sacrifices to work your business, you are not going to be successful. Promise you. You have to show up even on days you don't feel like it. And we all have days like that where we just don't care. We would rather sit on the couch and watch DVR or sleep in late or go play or whatever. And not that you can't do those things, but your power hour needs to be super, super important if you want to build this business. And I can tell you that firsthand. When I don't make my power hour a priority, my business is all over the place. When I'm not like posting effectively on Facebook and I'm not really paying attention to what I'm talking about and strategizing, then my business is all over the place. So it's super important that you show up every single day, even if that means you're only working 15 minutes a day, you're, flying through your personal development, you're checking in. Doesn't matter how long you work, as if you're working effectively. I mean, sometimes I literally only do work 15 minutes. I do my post. I probably do 15 more minutes, more than 15 minutes, because that's not including my workout and stuff. But you have to show up. It's super, super important. If you want to build this business every day and have a business that provides you with residual income and a team that's growing and thriving, you have to show up, period. You have to love the process as much as you love the prize. And that was really good. I highlighted that because I feel like this is a process. This business does not build itself overnight. This business does not, it's not easy the way people think it is. People think, oh, I can like sit on Facebook and post on Facebook my workout pictures and my food. Like, that's so easy. But all of you guys that have pushed for Success Club, you know that it's not easy. When you're hitting Success Club every single month, and I can tell you, I've done it for 26 months almost, 26 months of Success Club, at least 3 people every month, sometimes 12 people, sometimes 13 people, and you only get points for those people one time. So for 26 months, there have been months I have had to hustle. So I understand that there are definitely times when it is easy to just say, I got 4 points, like, that's cool, whatever, I'll do it next month. Trust me, I've been there. But you know what? I also know that on months when I don't hustle for Success Club, like I've been pushing for 10 every single month since the beginning of this year, and I've noticed a huge difference in my paychecks. So if you want to grow faster, Success Club 5 is not going to cut it. I'm telling you. 2 more people, so you help at least 5 people per month. That is so doable. If you're working the business and you're doing your vitals and you're adding people to your network and you're posting on Facebook and you're sharing your journey, 5 people per month is very, very doable. I'm not saying it's easy all the time, but it's doable. I did not think it was going to be doable. I was thinking there is no way I'm going to be able to sustain 5 people a month after 2 years. Like, there's no way. It's still happening. It is, because I believe that I can do it. I know that I can do it, and I've proven to myself that I can do it, and I do my stuff. There are definitely days I'm better than others, for sure, but I show up every day, and I at least check in, and I do what I can. So make sure you're checking in, make sure you're at least showing up, and you're working, at least doing the bare minimum, which is the 3 vitals. So Amy Silverman was also another seminar that we watched, which was really good. And she talked about like your story and where's everybody going? Everyone's disappearing. She talked about your story and how your story is actually the product. So people people are not necessarily buying into our products, you guys. They're buying into the story. They're buying into your story. They want to know, do the products work? They want to know how they helped you. They want to know that you struggle just like they do. They want to know that they're not the only ones that feel a certain way, like that they don't want to work out every day. People want to feel validated, and they want to feel like they're not alone. And I think that that's the most important thing that we can really, really talk about when we are posting on Facebook, is being vulnerable and sharing the struggles. So Amy said, she said, your story is the product. People want to know how you overcame things. And you should be breadcrumbing your story. So share your story in layers. Don't just give your whole story in one gigantic, huge post, but give little tidbits. Like, when you came across 21 Day Fix or whatever, or when you came across Shakeology, or when you came across coaching, how it affected your life. What was the decision that you made when you decided to do it? What were your objections to certain things? How did you overcome those objections? You want to be relatable. You want people to feel like your story, this is what she said, was really good. Your story makes your followers think about their story. So when you're talking about your struggles and you're saying, oh my gosh, like for me, when I really started opening up and talking about postpartum depression, which was like so horrific for me to talk about, because I didn't even want to admit that it happened, because it was so shameful for me. And I felt so guilty feeling that way, although there was nothing I could do about it. I mean, it was just hormonal, like it just happens. I shouldn't have felt, I was so hard on myself, feeling like this was the time of my life that I'm supposed to be so happy and I'm supposed to love this. And in reality, it was so hard that I hated most of it. And I literally blocked out so much of Emmy's that first year was like hell on earth. I mean, it was so hard. Yes, I love her. Yes, I would never trade her for anything in the world, but it was really hard. And when I really started getting real and talking about those things with people and talking about how I felt about my body, everybody said, stretch marks you've earned those. Those are, and you know what? I don't care about my stretch marks. Yes, I have them. I don't care. But in the time when I was really raw and hurting and exhausted and hormonal, those were not something I wanted to see. Those were not something I was proud of. Those were not something when I was trying to dress my postpartum body and I was feeling just awful about myself and I didn't want to be in any pictures. And I literally harassed people about taking pictures. I did not want to be in any pictures. That's why I hardly have any, which is now looking back so sad because I missed out on so many things and I literally don't remember so much that it makes me really sad to think about that. But that was the truth of where I was at. And when I really started to share that with people, I had so many women come out of the woodworks talking about how they felt that same way. And just by me talking about it, even though they didn't share their story, it helped them realize that they could heal from that and that it was okay, that it was normal to feel that way and that they were not alone. And those things, you see all those people that are, talk about their stretch marks and their battle scars and they earned those. And I'm just like, you know what? That's bullshit. It's not true. Nobody loves stretch marks. They're lying. I mean, yes, it's amazing what our bodies can do and it's incredible. But the thing is most women, I would say, if they could have a choice whether they get stretch marks or not, they would choose not to get them. Promise you that. But, by being relatable to people, I think that has really helped me and really just being real. That's why I'm always encouraging you guys to be vulnerable and to share the struggles. Who cares if you're not at your goal weight? I'm still not there. I'm going in the reverse now. But when you really talk about being real, people listen to that more so than, oh my gosh, look at my perfectly portioned meal and my shake and I worked out for 2 hours today. And that's not, yes, people, it helps to motivate people. But the thing is people want to know, people all the time would be like, how many hours a day do you work out? And I was like, I don't work out more than in 45 minutes. That's pushing it. That's really pushing it. Because I started when a lot of the programs, none of like T25 hadn't come out yet. So everything was like 45 minutes to an hour plus. So I didn't work out more than like 45, 50 minutes a day. And a lot of times people didn't believe me until I really started like, talking about it and sharing, like, I did not get these results from working out 3 hours a day. Like, that is not realistic for my life. So I'm going to say it again, be relatable. People want to know that you're real and that you're not just a robot. They want to know that you are like them and you have the same struggles that they do. And this is why Beachbody is awesome. This is how it's helped you overcome some of those struggles. Like for me, I was literally constantly skipping lunch all the time when Emmy was tiny because she wouldn't let me put her down, and I didn't plan ahead enough, surprise, surprise, to grab easy lunches. So I was just like grabbing a handful of crackers, like a string cheese, some nuts, whatever, and I was never eating like enough calories. And then I would like go crazy at dinner time because I was starving. So Shakeology literally like saved my life because it's pretty much my lunch every single day. I usually do it right after I work out, and I have like another kind of lunch-ish meal like in the later afternoon. But it has helped me so much because it gave me energy, it gave me fuel, super good food, and I didn't have to think about it every single day. Pop it in the blender, blend it up, chug it. Like, it made my life so much easier. So we need to be sharing that this is how like Beachbody can fit into somebody's life, because this is the struggle that I had. I was skipping lunch, blah, 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 blah. Shakeology, enter Shakeology. It changed my life. It's a meal, and that's still constantly what I tell people all the time. Literally, like, it's a meal I don't have to think about. And that, to me, hallelujah, because it's one less thing on my list. So what else? You don't want to share the same story too often. So you want to kind of change it up. So Amy Silverman talked about having like several shorter stories, like pieces of your story, but that you can kind of condense, and then you kind of rotate the ones that you share. So an exercise that I feel like would be a really good thing for us all to do is to kind of sit down and really like look at the timeline of our life and look at some of the big events, the things that shaped you, and how you found Beachbody, how it kind of played a role to help solve problems in your life, and kind of just write down, like you can do some, I don't even know how to, like a timeline or something, where you can just kind of put bullet points of like major events that happened that shaped you into the person that you are, and then use those little tiny things as, bits and pieces to breadcrumb your story, to share on Facebook. So when we're talking about sharing, who you are and sharing bits and pieces of your story, obviously you don't want to have like, stuff like that every single day, but every now and then you want to be able to throw in so that people feel like they know you, and they feel like they can relate to you. That's how you're going to attract people in your niche, is by sharing who you are and sharing your story. So don't omit the struggle. That was one of the big things that Amy talked about. You've got to share the struggle. You got to share this crappy stuff. Like I was saying, postpartum depression stuff was really, really hard for me. I still don't even share a lot about how it really was hard on my marriage. And because I'm trying to be respectful of Joe, I don't think he really wants me to air all our dirty laundry out. But it was really hard on my marriage. And there were definitely days that I was like, I'm doing this on my own. It's going to be easier. Now I'm really glad that I didn't do that. But there were definitely days that I was like, dude, this sucks. And this is really hard. But I'm telling you, the struggle is kind of where the magic is at, because people really want to know that you're not just sunshine and butterflies all the time. They want to know the bad stuff too. Doesn't mean your Facebook needs to be turned into like a sad, sappy thing all the time, but just, be aware that people do need to see that stuff. Okay, so those are kind of like my big things. Trying to look in the back of my notes to see if there's anything else. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to kind of go over some of the stuff in the Millionaire Messenger. And there's some really good tips in here, just kind of how to get your message out. So in the beginning of the book, Brendan talks about his story and basically the event that changed his life, where he had a near-death experience and he almost died, and kind of just what happened. And when he came out of it, he, you know, had this whole like awakening of what really matters in life. And the things that he said at the, you know, when you get to the end and you're thinking about your life when you're, you know, old and gray and you're looking back on your life, the 3 questions you're going to ask yourself are, did I live? Did I love? And did I matter? And those are the 3 things that, like that kind of hit me, because we all want to look back on our life and know that we lived and we did all the things we wanted to do. We all want to know that we loved people intensely and that we felt love, and that, you know, that's a basic human need, is to love. And then also, did you matter? You want to look back and feel like you made an impact on the world, or just, you know, your friends and family. You want to feel like you were important. And I really feel like this business gives us so much potential to be able to do those things. I mean, obviously, you know, loving might be a little bit out, because hopefully we have that separate from Beachbody, but you want to look back. Beachbody can provide a pathway for you to be able to live the way you want to live. I mean, I guarantee all of us don't want to look back on our life and feel like, wow, I struggled and I only could survive paycheck to paycheck. We don't want to look back and wish we would have been able to take that vacation with our kids. We don't want to look back and wish we would have, you know, taken that trip to, you know, the place that we've always wanted to go to. We want to be able to look back and really feel like I was able to live and do the things I want to do. I mean, we all have different things like on our bucket list, but we want to be able to look back and say, like, was I important? Did I do things that I really wanted to do? And did I matter? I think that that's one of the things that we all want to matter. We all want to feel like we're leaving an impact on the world. And this platform of this business gives us the opportunity to be able to do that for people. So to be able to inspire people and to help people to feel like they're important. And so those were the 3 things. Did I live? Did I love? And did I matter? That we'll always, when we're on our deathbeds, those are the things we're going to look back and ask ourselves. So that to me was like really big, because everybody, I guess I just didn't realize, like, but that is like, those are the 3, like, you know, questions of life. So, so then he talks about kind of like, you know, how he's built his business, but, so I'm going to go over some of the bullet points of he said, he calls it the expert calling and lifestyle. So talking about becoming an expert in your field, that this is like a whole new kind of industry that we are essentially in now. We are experts in health and fitness, in personal growth, and we're experts in our transformation. So he talks about how when you are embarking on this journey of becoming somebody in the expert business, which people are making crazy, I mean, you see obviously with Beachbody, but people are making crazy money just like giving advice, like on YouTube. People, like, you can become a self-made, like, expert millionaire just by, like, giving advice. You don't have to have any kind of degree or credential to do it. It's like people, like, there's a guy on YouTube, he does like motivational videos, and I think he's like a reverend or a pastor or something, but he does all these videos that are just like so intense, but they're so, like, you watch them and you're just like, you feel like you can conquer the world. And people, I think the way that our our culture is now with social media and the internet. It's like, it is amazing how you can build yourself a business without having like overhead costs, really a lot of overhead. You don't have to have a big team to do it. You don't have to have tons of supplies. You don't have to, it's like very easy. I mean, there's people that like, look at the people on YouTube that are making like crazy money just posting like makeup tutorials or like hair tutorials, or they're just talking about, like there's people that I followed, like a couple people that I followed when I was pregnant with Emmy, that just literally vlogged like their whole pregnancy. Like, today I'm feeling tired and this is what my belly looks like. And like, just very, like, just their life. And they would have like hundreds of thousands of followers. And people would like send them stuff. And it was just like crazy. But that's what can happen. So the whole point of this is like perfecting your message and perfecting like what you're doing. So if you're going to become an expert in this business, you need to know your products. You need to know what you're offering, what you're giving, why people should want to follow you, why people should want to know you. So in this chapter, he talks about, what's it called? This chapter is called The Expert Calling and Lifestyle. So he gives like the steps. Number one, your work is based entirely on your passion and knowledge. So I've seen this like so many times where people come into this business, they think they're going to make a quick buck, and they think that, oh, I just have to sell stuff and I'll make money, which is true, but you will not build yourself residual income or longevity in this business if you don't care about what you're doing. You don't care about the people that you're helping, the people that you're selling products to. If you don't care about your team, if you don't care about growing yourself, you're not going to go anywhere. So you have to have passion with what you're doing, just like anything. Like, you can't be a successful hairstylist if you don't care about doing hair. You don't care about people's hair. You don't care about what people look like. You don't care about yourself. You don't care about your hair. Like, I mean, any business and any entrepreneurial like business, you have to really care about what you're doing. That's why entrepreneurs don't work well working for someone else, because they want to do their own thing. They don't want to build somebody else's dream and somebody else's company. They don't want to have all the work on their shoulders to just make a paycheck. I mean, so many people are in that because they think they can't do something else. But the reality is you can do anything you want. And there are countless things out there that people need that are not being, needs that are not being met. So, but your work is based entirely on your passion and your knowledge. So you need to have passion with what you're doing, and you need to know what you're doing. So you need to know your products. Carl talked about this at Summit. You need to know the products. No, you don't need to know every single move in P90X. You don't need to know the length of every single workout of every single program we have, or the nutrition plans inside out. But you need to know what we offer. You need to know, how are you going to help somebody pick a program if you don't even have any idea? Like, if somebody comes in and they say, I have really bad knees and I can't do a lot of jumping, and my lower body is is more limited. You're not going to recommend something like, if you know our products, you're not going to recommend Brazil butt lift because there's a lot of squats and a lot of lower body work. Or I probably wouldn't recommend T25 because there's a lot of jumping. I have a knee injury and it bothered my knee. So you got to know the basics of our products. You need to know a little bit about Shakeology. You don't have to know every single ingredient, but you need to know what's most important is you need to know how it's going to help people. And you need to know and have your own story about how it's helped you, your testimony. That's really, really important. You need to know why it's not just a protein shake. You need to know why it's worth $129 a month, because every single one of us that is on it understands that it's worth that. So you need to know what you're selling. You need to know what you offer. The reason I don't have a hard time selling challenge packs is because I know the value of a challenge pack, and I believe in the value of a challenge pack. So when somebody tells me they don't want Shakeology, I educate them on why they do need Shakeology. So just need to know. You need to know what we're offering, and you need to have passion in what you're doing. Like, you can't just be going through the motions of, okay, a challenge group is a challenge group is an accountability group, blah, 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 blah. I mean, people want to know, how does it help you? How did it make a difference in your life? Why did you, why should they want to do it? So number 2, your work activities center on relating and creating. And this was big. So he said, how do most people spend their work days in the real world? How would you describe their 2 principal work activities? In the expert community, we spend our time on only 2 things: relating with our audience to gain their trust and understand their needs and ambitions, and creating useful information, content, and products that add value to our audience and teach them how to live a better life or grow their business. And that is exactly what we do every day. That's what you need to focus on: relating with people. So through your posts, and finding ways to create content that is valuable to people. Like, like you want to, when people go to your page, they want to be like, wow, this girl like gives so much stuff. And that's, kind of what we talked about before about you want to do the jab, 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 hook. You want to give, and then ask. So you want to be giving so much more than you are asking. And you're not going to be able to sell challenge packs and be able to recruit people if you're not giving freely. So keep that in mind. So that's pretty much your whole job: relate to people and create content that's going to add value to their lives. Let's see. The cool thing about this business is you can work anywhere and anytime. Starting now, you get to work with who you want, which is really cool. Your promotions are based on your promotion. So if you want to make more money, you need to do more. If you want to, like for me, I wanted to have more steady, larger paychecks instead of like sporadic large paychecks. So that's why I focused on hitting Success Above 10, because I knew if I doubled my efforts, I would see a difference in my paychecks, and I have. So, you basically get what you put in. If you're not putting in work, you're not going to really see much out of it. And then this, which is what I posted on our team page the other day: your pay equals the value you deliver, not the hours you work. Which that was like mind-blowing to me. Super simple concept, but your pay equals the hours you deliver, or the value equals the value you deliver, not the hours you work. So you can work 1 hour a day. You can. Lots of people have built this business on 1 hour a day. But if you're not delivering value in that 1 hour with planning your content and all that stuff, then you're probably not going to see a lot of traction. So if you want to only work 1 hour a day, you better be focused during that hour and really planning good stuff out. Otherwise, you probably might need a little bit more time, especially in the beginning. I had to put in a lot more hours initially than I was getting paid for. Now I can work pretty much an hour a day and my paycheck, pretty much stays the same. So if I want more money, I need to work more. I need to recruit more. I need to really be focused on what I'm putting out there. So that was like big aha for me. You don't need a big team. That's one of the coolest things. And the tools for success are simple and cheap. So this business, you don't need a lot of stuff. You need a computer, internet. I did it from my phone for the first 6 months. I got to Diamond from basically working on my phone. You don't need a big fancy website. You don't need you don't need an assistant. You don't need employees. You can pretty much, that's one of the best things is that we literally don't need a lot of stuff. Some of these other MLMs, you have to buy in like thousands of dollars worth of products, and then you have to figure out how to sell them. How crappy is that? Like, imagine if you had a freaking room full of inventory that you had to worry about selling every single day. We are so lucky we don't have to do that. So remember that we are blessed in knowing that we don't have overhead. I mean, $15 plus our own, Shakeology. That's it. It's so cheap. So as an expert in this business, which you guys are all going to be experts, never forget that on the highway of life, you've come further than many others, and the lessons you have learned are both helpful and valuable to others. So a lot of times I feel like I haven't had a bad life. I haven't had all this hard stuff. I mean, I've had my fair share of things, but how is that going to help other people? And it does. It does help people. So remember that, like, your struggles, and that's how you're going to relate to people, is by sharing that stuff so that they feel like their story, they feel validated in what they're doing. So your crap that you've been through, use that, turn your mess into a message. That is what is going to help people. It's not just all about, working out in Shakeology, but really just sharing your story. So let's see, I think we're almost done. The last few things I want to touch on are, these are the 10 steps to, we probably don't need all 10, but these are like the 10 steps he says will build you an expert empire. So number 1, claim and master your topic. So that's kind of already set out for us. We're going to be talking health, fitness, nutrition, transformation, inspiration, lifestyle coaching. That's kind of, we're all kind of talking about that stuff. Your topic is not going to be that different since we're all Beachbody coaches. Number 2, you're going to pick your audience. So your niche, you're going to figure out who you're talking to, who you want to work with, who are the people that you're going to connect the best with. Narrow it down so that when you're posting, you are talking specifically to that niche. You can talk to everybody, but it's better if you narrow it down. Trust me, it's much better. Number 3, you're going to discover your audience's problems. So for us, it's going to be weight issues, convenience foods, confidence, how are our products going to help solve their problems? And you're going to address that in your posts. You're going to keep that in mind. Number 4 is to define your story. So like we were kind of talking about, breadcrumb it, take several chunks of your life that have been big events in your life and craft a little story around those things and then share that. Number 5 is to create a solution. So you're going to create, which, we already have the solution. Obviously, Beachbody is our solution to people's problems. So that's kind of done for us. Number 6 is put up a website, which you don't have to do right away because we already have websites, but I do suggest at some point having a blog or something to be able to use as just another platform to be able to share your message and your story, but it's not something you have to do like right away. Number 7 is campaign your products and your programs, which we all do. So you need to invite, you need to talk about what you're doing. You need to talk about Shakeology. You need to talk about your workouts. That's all part of sharing, your story and kind of sharing your message every day, why our products are awesome and amazing. Number 8 is to post free content. And this is a big one because people love free, and this is all about giving value. So doing videos, giving free meal plans, posting recipes, doing little workout clips, giving stuff away so people feel like when you ask them for something, it's not a big deal because you give them a lot of good free stuff already, good content. And there's tons of that stuff. Like you can Google meal plan, find a meal plan, download it, send it to people, make another document that's, more kind of customized to you, and then use that to send to people. I have and if you guys don't have them saved, I have a bunch too. I have, I think in the files, there should be some, the Bombshell Nutrition Plan, there's like a low carb one, there's a vegan one, there's there's options already of stuff that's already there. But if you want something that's more tailored, more specific, or you want to make it yours, there's tons of stuff out there. So that's something that Anita Myron does. Like when you click on her page and you click on her banner, they can click to, I think they probably sends them to her blog or something where she collects their email and then she sends them a free meal plan or something. But people probably love that stuff because little do they know they could probably just Google it and find it, but they feel like they're getting a lot of, they're getting something free from a professional. So Number 9 doesn't really like apply to us. It's get promotional partners. So it's like getting people to help promote you. Maybe just like asking for referrals from family and friends. Asking, your family and friends when they hear of somebody or they see somebody that's looking for weight loss to tag you or to send them your info or to send you their info so that you're kind of getting connected from other people and not just your personal Facebook. But getting referrals from family and friends, from past challengers, etc. Number 10 is repeat and build the business based on distinction, excellence, and service. So distinction, he says, the better you get at being yourself and displaying your uniqueness to your fans and followers, the more influential you'll become. And I thought that was really awesome because a lot of times I even feel that way, like, how can I be different than other people? Because a lot of times I feel like it's already all been done, but we're all different and unique and we can all offer something different. So we have to remember that, and to that, like Shalene talks about, like, just being weird. She's so weird all the time and people freaking love her. Like, she has like the coolest group of followers because she is just very much herself. She's a dork and she's just like, but people love her because they're like her and they can relate to her. So she's like really, really good about distinguishing herself from other people, and she just doesn't care what other people, what people think of her. She's just herself. So, and she even says that, she's like, you guys are just weird and you're weird like me, and it's awesome, and it's just cool to be able to, like, I've been able to create this whole huge following of weirdos that are just like me. It's like awesome because then she loves, you love being around people that are similar to you. So that's why, like, pitching to your niche is important. You want to narrow that down. You don't want to just be talking to everyone and trying to spray your message everywhere. You want to narrow it down who you're talking to. Like, I don't like having guys in my challenge groups. I just don't, because they're just different. They lose weight faster and it's rude. They don't have the same struggles we have. So a lot of times that's why I don't have them in my groups, because I just personally don't connect with them. That's why you'll see, like, our team is full of women, because that's who I connect with. Number 2, excellence. So just, standing out, giving your greatest effort and caring enough about your career and your customers to make the value you bring, to make sure that the value you bring is equal or better than anything else out there. So just striving to be a master and a leader in what you do, which we should always be striving for that. And then service, which should be the foundation of what we do, is serving others. So that's really, like, one of the biggest things that our business is about, is to just serve other people, and to constantly be thinking about how you can help other people, with your content, with your challenge groups, with your team, how you can always be improving and doing better. So now that I've talked for like a whole freaking hour, I'm going to shut up. But that's it. So I'm going to stop recording.